if this sounds familiar at all. You've been making some progress, maybe not a lot, maybe more than you thought you would, on finding your true purpose. That's super exciting, and it felt really good for a while. But now you're like, oh my God, I'm back to being lost and confused. I'm super frustrated, and I just feel really stuck. Sound at all familiar? I get it, and I've been there, and I can help you. My name is Sarah Woodard. I founded the business Spark Consciousness, and my whole purpose is to help people like you find their purpose through connection with nature. This place where you are right now, this feeling frustrated, lost, stuck, confused, it's going to happen not infrequently along this journey to finding your purpose. And even once you've arrived at your purpose and you know what your purpose is, it's going to continue to happen. It is a signal that it's time to let go, accept something that's going on, and let go. Whether it's let go of attachment to outcome, let go of something that has happened in your past. That's what this feeling right now is all about. It's a signal for that. Now, many experts and coaches, they're going to tell you that you need to decide what to let go of or decide when to let go. You don't. With the right tools, which I'm going to explain in this video, you can let go of anything that is standing in your way without knowing exactly what it is. Similarly, coaches and other experts will offer suggestions like create an affirmation or use a mantra. Now, you certainly can do those things if you wish, but once again, they are not necessary and they may not work for you. They certainly didn't work for me. So before I explain how to truly work through acceptance and letting go as part of finding your life's purpose, you need to understand why this matters. Painful experiences, such as situations with family members or other occasions when negative feelings have arisen and have gone unresolved, they stay with us. They live in our bodies and in our souls. And for a time, they even serve a purpose. They may help you to stay safe or to avoid similar situations in the future, as an example. Over time, though, they stop serving a purpose and they actually become a barrier to the personal and spiritual growth necessary to finding your purpose. That's when you start to feel these feelings of lost, confused, frustrated, stuck, blah. And when that happens, and like I said, it will happen, it's time to work on acceptance and letting go. Also, as humans, our ego minds, we want to know all the things. When, why, where, how is it going to happen? And why isn't it happening when, where, and how we want? And why do other people seem to be getting what we want? Sound familiar? I go through that scenario quite a lot, especially as a type A. This is also a sign that you need to work on acceptance and letting go. And as you may have guessed, I work on it a lot. So I can attest that all of these things I'm going to show you in this video about how to do that work because I use them on the regular. So without further ado, here's how to work on acceptance and letting go. Number one is show gratitude. Remember that whatever is keeping you stuck right now, it once served a purpose. Be grateful for that and then ask it to move on. Here's an example of some language that you can use. Thank you to whatever situation, feeling, etc. for keeping me safe, teaching me a lesson, whatever purpose you think it may have served. I appreciate the positives you brought to my life, but you no longer serve me. It is time for you to move on. Please do that right now. And if you don't know the specifics for the blanks, you can keep it really generic. Like, thank you to this situation for the positives you've brought to my life. Now, this technique is very similar to what they do in interfamily systems therapy. So if this speaks to you and you feel like you need to go deeper with it, see if there's an IFS, interfamily systems therapist, near you. Number two is you can create a letting go ceremony or ritual. Now, there are a lot of ways to do this, so choose the ones that feel the most right for you. I'm going to list off a couple of options here because they're the ones that I do the most frequently. All right, option one is to burn it. So to the best of your ability, write down whatever it is you're trying to move on from. This could be a list, a letter, a few random words, whatever it makes sense for you. And once you've done that, gather your tools. At a minimum, you're going to need a fire-safe bowl, a lighter or matches, and the papers you've written on. You could also add some incense or oils or herbs or anything else that you feel would make it meaningful for you. As you light the papers, say something similar to the phrasing I said above, and I'll repeat that again here if you would like. Thank you to situation, feeling, etc., for keeping me safe, teaching me a lesson, whatever. I appreciate the positives you brought to my life, but you no longer serve me. It's time to move on. Please do that right now. And then watch it burn and imagine all of the pain, heaviness, blocks, whatever, floating away in that smoke. Now, please be sure if you choose to burn it that you take the proper precautions to keep your home, your community, your pets, and yourself safe. And then the other option is to wash it away. For some people, this makes more sense, whether you just don't want to use fire or just water feels more correct for you. Either one is good. I've used both. So to wash away anything you need to let go of, you start the same way. You want to write it down. And you can get dissolvable paper if you would like. That's kind of cool to watch that happen. And then, once you've written that all down, just as you would have in the burn it option, you can wash it away in nature, like a river or a stream or a pond, or you can use a bowl of water in your home and then spill it out. Either way, as you're doing this process, say those same words and imagine all of that stuff just dissolving or floating away. Now, another way to wash things away is to actually do it in the shower. You can say those same words while you're in your shower, getting all clean, and you can clean your energy and your spirit. And so just say those same words, thank you, go away, while you're in the shower. And imagine them washing down the drain along with your soap and all your physical dirt. So if those were kind of cool, but maybe didn't feel right for you, there are some other options. So the first is a traditional meditation where you sit quietly and you're guided through this process. And if that works well for you, there are a lot of different meditations for acceptance and letting go. Search for one that works for you. If traditional meditation hasn't really worked for you in the past, that's okay. I get it. It can be a really tough thing to get into that mindset. So here are some other options that you might want to try that have a similar purpose and outcome, but they're a little more active. So the first is emotional freedom technique. It's also called the tapping thing or EFT. And it works to release blocks, whether you can name them or not. Do a search on YouTube for EFT for acceptance and letting go and see what comes up. See which ones speak to you and do those as many times as you want. Sound healing is another great option. And again, you can search on YouTube for sound healing for acceptance and letting go and see what comes up. Play them in the background of your day to receive the healing benefits. And if you can make a few moments to just pause and actively listen, those healing benefits will be amplified. You could also try a Reiki treatment. Now, as a Reiki master teacher, I know it's best if you can find a practitioner to work with you on your specific situation. But if you can't, you can try to search Reiki healing videos about acceptance and letting go on YouTube and play those and follow the instructions in those videos and see if they work for you. And then the last option is do the subconscious work. And what do I mean by that? So talk therapy and similar techniques work with our conscious minds, just like mantras and all of that stuff. It all works with your conscious brain. And that's great, and it can eventually sort of trickle into our subconscious minds. But our subconscious minds have a lot of power. They do a lot of the work about how we respond to things and how we feel about things in the background without our even knowing. To do the subconscious work, you're going to need to find somebody who is familiar with that. And I'm going to link to this woman, April Adams, who uses a technique called, well, it used to be called PS Tech. I think it's now something through the Orpheus Institute. But check her out. I've worked with her in the past as well, and I know that what she does works. I've used every single one of these methods at some point, and I still keep them as part of my toolbox. Whichever ones speak to you, use them, and feel free to change, combine, whatever as you desire. There is no right or wrong way to accept and let go. This process of acceptance and letting go is as personal as your journey to find your purpose. Do what works for you and leave the rest. And you've got this. I will see you soon.